Hello, welcome! Kevin Kaufman, Fred Weaver from kevinandfred.com. We're back. You know what we're going to do? We're going to finish today, Kevin.
Let's do it.
We're going to finish part 2 of the one thing.
Let's do it.
There's still a whole other section
There's
of
a
the book to
whole
go.
big section of the book to
I know, and if you're sick of it, then I'm sorry.
That's
but
okay.
This
You're
book
wrong.
is absolutely life-changing when applied correctly.
If you let it.
So we talked about, part 2 of the book is really about the focusing question. It's about the success habit, which is using the focusing question. What's the one thing I can do such that I do it makes everything else easier and necessary?
Right.
But it's using that in different areas of your life and maybe even putting a time frame on it. And then this third, the last part of part 2 of the book is what Gary calls the path to great answers. So it's this idea that, if you're going to ask a great question, then you're going to have to find great answers too.
Well, yeah. I mean, the whole point of asking a great question is to go out and get great answers, right?
Correct.
I mean, when you ask a great question, that typically will lead you anyways to what you're looking for.
Well, and the problem is, and this is a theme throughout the book, is that a lot of us ask wrong questions or bad questions or questions that don't support us.
Inadequate.
We ask questions from a small place or we ask them too broad, right? And we're not thinking big enough. Now, hopefully, I think most people watching this blog, we're already thinking big. But where we can get stuck when we ask questions is we can think too big and broad versus thinking big and specific. And when you think big and you think specific, now all of a sudden you got sort of this focus and this funnel going somewhere. Versus big and broad, you can sit around all day long and it kind of just put these great. And some people are great, like professors and really smart people with like letters after the name and stuff like that. They're really great at that kind of stuff.
Realtors like GRIs.
Yeah, exactly. Like yeah, those kind of people are great at talking big and broad, right? And and everything sounds cool. But at the end of the day, people that achieve extraordinary results think big, but they also think specific. And when you think that way, then you have to go and do what Gary talks about a lot, which is basically benchmark, trend. Figure out what people are doing out there. So once you find that answer, right, you ask a great question, now all of a sudden you got an answer, but you got to kind of start looking to see what the trends are, what other people are doing.
I actually think he wrote a couple other books revolving around that. Millionaire Real Estate Agent, Millionaire Real Estate Investor. It's precisely what that was.
The one thing, do you think he made this stuff up? No, this book's full of research. It's full of studies that were done at universities and by different individuals and things of that nature. And it's because really none of this is original content. It's just Gary is a researcher. He's a modeler. Goes out and figures out what's the research say, what are people doing, how are they doing it the highest and best, and then let's put a plan around that.
Yeah. It's kind of simple and genius at the same time.
It is.
When you think about it.
And then we all look at him and go, wow, you're brilliant. And he really is brilliant. But it's not like every brilliant idea was some original idea. He just went out and researched it.
He goes and does the one thing.
Absolutely. So anyway, come back next week. We're going to jump into part 3 of this book, which he calls Unlocking the Possibilities Within You.
See you then.
Should be fun.
Bye.